AITAH for leaving one of my brother's kids out of a trip, but taking the rest. Advice needed. So long story short, I 35F, live and work abroad but am from the Midwest. I grew up with my brother Jason 43M and our parents 70s. We were working class, had what we needed but not well off by any means. When I was in high school, Jason married Tiffany, 40F, who is and was and will always be a mess of a person, heavy drinker, partier, God knows whatever else, but she was hot and my brother is a dweeb to put it nicely. They had Jace 19M, Jeff 17M, and Hannah 12F. Their marriage broke down before Hannah was born. They tried working it out but ultimately got divorced. Jason started dating Jenny 43F while splitting custody of the kids with Tiffany 50-50. Since Tiff had been at SAHM, she received child support and alimony, and my brother worked a lot. I liked Jenny at first. She wasn't a complete smoke show like Tiff, but she was kind, had a good job and was well educated. I thought, much better match. At first I know Jenny was upset that the kids didn't immediately love her and call her mom when they were there, and the divorce was hard on them. Got pregnant somewhat fast with Daisy 10F, and they got married. Around this time, the older kids started refusing to go back to Tiff's. She was always drinking and having guys around, so all three moved in full time with Jason and Jenny, and Tiff left town, and is no longer in the kids' lives. I tried being understanding. I'm sure having a newborn and then 3 older kids full time is difficult, but Jenny completely changed. She stopped working, but declared she was only a SAHM to her kid. Jason was working 70+ hours to make ends meet and her parents were helping them out, but she controls the finances. This means that the 3 of them, Jason, Jenny and Daisy, operate as a family unit, going to dinners, events, even vacations, and leaving the older 3 kids at home. I have always thought this was disgusting and voiced my opinion about it, but Jason just said his divorce broke him emotionally, and he will do anything possible to keep Jenny happy so that their marriage works out. Gross, yes. And 10 years ago, to be frank, I was younger, broker and dumber, so it was kind of more like, yes, my brother fucking sucks as a dad, but I live on another continent, and all I can do is be supportive of the kids. I know, not a great attitude in retrospect, and I'm disappointed in myself. I really did my best when they refused to pay for Jace to learn how to drive, even though Jenny refused to drive the kids anywhere. My mom taught him and I bought him a used car. We had to shame Jason to put him on his insurance, and he makes Jace pay for it. Same with Jeff, they share the car and use it for their activities and Hannah's. My wife, an only child, and we don't want children, have the 3 of them as our sole beneficiaries in our will, something we did when we found out that Jenny and Jason planned to leave them only the bare minimum amount. Everything goes to Daisy. Also, after we got married, my wife, 6 years ago, and I decided that we would start taking the older kids on annual trips with us when we went to the US. Nothing fancy, we might be child-free but we're not billionaires or anything, just well off, but things like a week in Florida, Utah, California, things like that. They're very outdoorsy kids, so they've had a blast every year, and we plan it when my brother takes Jenny and Daisy on trips, so they don't care. Normally we vacation in the summer, but Jace got an internship this summer, so we decided to move our trip to the fall and are going to Maine, leaves. I let Jason know the dates, they're in line with their fall breaks, no worries, and he basically said we need to start including Daisy. Jenny's parents made some bad investments, they're fine but aren't helping them out anymore, and Jenny is looking for a job, but since her parents had always paid for their trips, they can't go on one this year. So even if all was fair, I wouldn't want to take Daisy on a trip. This is going to shock you with parents like that, and I feel so bad saying this about a child, but Daisy is a huge brat, spoiled, mean, and constantly bragging about the things she gets that her siblings don't. She once told me they weren't her siblings, they were Tiffany's kids. She throws toddler-level tantrums on holidays if she doesn't get as much and more as the other kids, tells my wife and I we are going to hell edit. I now feel bad for including this. She said it about 5 years ago a few times, and when Jenny was told, it was about the only time I've ever seen her discipline Daisy. I guess she'd heard it from Jenny's aunt, but it was hurtful and hard to forget with everything else, and since Jenny waits on her hand and foot, she's a total slob. I feel bad saying all this. I hope when she grows up she grows out of it, but there is no way I'd want to take her on a vacation, so I told him I didn't think we'd be able to handle all 4 kids and we'd just go the 5 of us. He said Jenny could come to help out. Absolutely not. Or our mom could go, love her, but she's getting a freaking hip replacement next month and does not want to go. Plus the car we'd need for all these people on a road trip would be stupid. We'd probably need 2, and you know what? I don't want to. Anyways, sorry for trauma dumping on you all, this is getting long. I was worried Jason would not let me take the other kids on the trip, but they decided to go the route of shamming us online. Obviously it's working with their friends and her family, but even my dad told me to stick to my guns. But my wife came to me the other day and basically said, are we even better than Jenny if we're favoring some kids over another just because we don't like their mom? Before we were evening things out, but now we're obviously favoring the oldest. She told me to think of the long-term health of my family and our relationships. She said that it's my family, my decision, but wants me to think about it. My gut is saying just take the older 3, but Daisy is only 10, she's not to blame. Would it make me an evil aunt to leave her out? Update. Hey guys, I posted about a week ago, and a lot of people asked for updates, but things have gotten yucky. A quick thing, Daisy is not constantly some Veruca Saltesque monster child. She can be a brat, but she is also funny and caring. She's the only grandchild who has stuck with the church choir that my mom runs, even though I don't think she loves it. Always calls my wife and I on our birthdays. And when their dog was too old to go upstairs, she brought her mattress downstairs and slept next to her every night before she passed away, so she wouldn't be lonely. People aren't cartoon villains, and please stop attacking a 10-year-old. Sorry I didn't reply to direct messages. I don't feel comfortable doing that. I don't know if that account people were messaging me was Jenny's, and honestly it wouldn't change anything. I did change some small things for anonymity, and it would be a shame if there more than one person out there like her. Finally, just a reminder that I live half the world, a 15-hour min plane ride away. I can't just pop over, and there are time zone issues. I also do well for myself but don't have unlimited money. So stop telling me to take Daisy on trial trips, and buy a 4-bedroom house for the oldest 3 to live in lol. And keep in mind, I live in remote, mostly rural areas, not bustling metropolises with vibrant expat communities and international schools. It's the nature of my job, I've worked hard for it, and it's not conducive to having kids, young adults living with me. I'm not a messy person and I don't do social media drama, so I've been ignoring Jenny and Jason's little vague booking campaign, and honestly I wasn't even going to update until I got some background information, but basically I got a call from my brother last weekend, and it was Daisy crying and telling me she would be good, and she's sorry for being bad, and she wants to go on the trip and promising she'll be quiet and not say anything rude. It was dark. She was saying she was going to find a way to show me and my wife and her parents she was good and not a bad person, and everything would be okay. I tried calming her down. I assured her that both her aunts love her very much and don't think she is a bad person at all. My brother took the phone and was just like, see what you've done, and hung up. I tried calling back. He didn't answer. I texted my mom as well as Jace and Jeff to see what was going on. And of course I wake up and there's a post about how cruel people can be to innocent children. Anyways, between my mom and Jeff I got some more background info. I don't know where all their money goes, or what kind of bath her parents took, but their financial situation is bad. As in asking my fixed low-income parents for money for Daisy's tuition bad. Obviously they couldn't help them, and I guess Jenny and my brother had told Daisy she was going to have to pick between vacation and her school, and she picked her school, but since it's taken Jenny longer than they expected to find a job, they can no longer swing that either. I know you all think she's a little demon, but my heart broke for her with that. And yes, I am not getting into it, I'll rage for too long, but yes, the older 3 have always gone to public school. I do think it was Jenny's parents paying the tuition, though. And according to Jeff, Daisy is getting older and having more of her own opinions, and Jenny doesn't like that. When she found out she couldn't go back to her school, she asked about a trip, and when my brother told Jenny I'd said no, she told Daisy she couldn't go because she was bad. Heartbreaking, and just generally A+ parenting all around. I don't think this is the end of all of this. Jeff needs to be more discreet, but told me Jenny was losing it because of Botox and Ozempic withdrawal. He did say the house wasn't as bad as you'd think. She mostly ignores them and has continued that. He works, and Hannah has spent most the summer at her best friend's house. Also, one quick thing, I know everyone is worried about my nephews and niece, and think they live horrible, miserable lives, and this vacation is the only bright spot of the year. Yes, their lives are completely unfair and I feel awfully for them, but they are happy kids. From what Jace has told me, since she had Daisy they've always kind of just treated Jenny like an eccentric roommate that their dweeb of a dad is sleeping with. They're not all rude and screaming at one another, more polite indifference. They also do care a lot about Daisy, and would never ask me to leave her at home. It's me that doesn't want to bring her, because she needs a parent with her, and as Drill would say, I would face God and walk backwards into hell before I ever invited, much less paid for, Jenny to come with us.